This is not the race recap that I wanted to make. The London Winter Run 10k was last week, and it was meant to be my first big test before the Brooklyn Half Marathon. It was going to be a chance for me to try and push for a sub 48 finish and build confidence before my big race in April. But instead of racing, I spent the day on the sidelines cheering everyone from the crowd. My ankle just wasn't ready. And while I know I made the right call, it's still it doesn't make it any easier. And now with less than 8 weeks to go until Brooklyn, I'm trying to find the right balance between resting, recovering, and not completely losing all of my fitness. It's a constant battle between being patient and wanting to just get out there and run. But today, for the first time in 2 weeks, I finally tested my ankle on a short 1 kilometre run to see where I'm at. And honestly, it's not where I want to be. So let's talk about how race day felt without actually racing, the mental battle of injuries, and my plan moving forward to hopefully get back on track. The decision was pretty brutal. For days, I went back and forth in my mind. Could I just jog the race and stay in the routine? Would pushing through set me back even more? And if I skipped it, would I lose too much fitness ahead of the Brooklyn Half Marathon? In the end, I had to be honest with myself. My ankle just wasn't ready. And every experienced runner I spoke to gave me the same advice. If you're questioning it, you already know the answer. And I knew in my head that my ankle just wasn't right. So instead of lining up at the start, I went to the London Winter Run as a spectator. And honestly, it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. Race day energy is really something else. The atmosphere, the nervous excitement, the collective energy of thousands of runners all chasing their goals. And it's really why I love this sport. Even though I wasn't running, just being there reminded me why I train, why I push myself, and why I want to be back at full strength as soon as possible. But watching everyone run while I stood on the sidelines, that was pretty tough. There were so many moments where I thought, could I have just jogged the 10k? Did I make the right call skipping it? But deep down, I know that this was the right call. The goal isn't just this one race, and as much as I would have enjoyed running it and testing myself, the bigger goal is running the Brooklyn Half Marathon in April. So after 2 weeks of icing, elevating, and doing absolutely no running, I finally went out and tested my ankle today on just a short 1 kilometre run. There was absolutely no pressure, there was no pace goal, it was just really an easy jog to see where I'm at. And the verdict? My ankle feels, I would say, around 60 to 70% of the way there. The swelling has gone down, I would say, about 90 to 95%. I definitely have more mobility and I can run, but it's just not 100% pain-free yet. I could feel a little bit of stiffness and some weakness, especially when I was kind of turning corners or perhaps pushing off too hard at traffic lights. It wasn't sharp pain, but it was definitely a reminder that I still need to be careful. So as much as I want to ramp up my training again, I know the smart move is to ease back in slowly, and I can't afford to rush this and end up sidelined again from my bigger goal. So here's the plan for now. 1, keep up the rehab work, ankle mobility drills, strength training and light stretching 2, short controlled test runs. No hard workouts yet, just short, easy jogs to gauge progress. 3, cross training. So thinking about adding cycling or swimming to maintain endurance without impact. I'm thinking about, as an example, cycling into work tomorrow and testing the ankle to see how that goes. And finally, patience. And this really is the hardest part. It's been really difficult. I'm really into data and monitoring my fitness, seeing my Garmin training status dropping as an example. And I'm sure other people out there have felt that too. Injuries aren't just physical, they mess with your head. Not running has made me feel like I'm falling behind. Watching everyone train while I sit on the sidelines is frustrating. Every part of me wants to lace up and just go. But I also know that one bad decision could put me out for even longer. So if you're dealing with injury too, here's what I'm reminding myself. Recovery is part of training. Rushing back too soon is how you end up missing even more time. One race doesn't define your progress. And sure, I wanted to run the London Winter Run, but my real goal is the Brooklyn Half Marathon at the end of April. Progress isn't always linear. Some weeks you feel unstoppable, others you're icing your ankle and questioning everything. That really is just part of the process. So where do I go from here? I'm going to do another test run in a couple of days' time, seeing if I can push the 1 kilometre that I did today to maybe 2, 3 or 4 without pain, and really just gauging how I'm feeling in the moment. 2, I'm going to carefully reintroduce workouts. No intervals or long runs yet, but gradually building back to that point. 3, I'm going to keep strength and mobility work as a priority. This injury is really a wake-up call. I need to focus on stability and injury prevention moving forward. But the big question is going to be, can I still train properly for the Brooklyn Half Marathon with just 7 weeks left? And right now, I honestly don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not giving up. So this wasn't the week that I wanted, but setbacks happen. Every runner deals with injuries, and what matters is how we come back from them. If you've ever had to pull out of a race due to injury, let me know in the comments. How did you bounce back? I'd love to hear your experiences, because it's been a real struggle for me over the last couple of weeks. And of course, subscribe to follow my journey to the Brooklyn Half Marathon. Hopefully by next episode, I'll be running again instead of just talking about it. And if you've got this far into the video, whilst you wait for episode 6, why not check out episode 4 of the series, currently on screen. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in episode 6. And remember, stay healthy and stay curious. Thanks again.